Now while we're right here, let's take our card here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to give it a quick, okay, make sure that it's off, and then we're going to see how this is located. Make sure that it goes in here in the slots properly, because again, you don't want to force this card. Okay, that goes, oops, let's try this again now. There, see how it's stamped in there? Don't have to force it, just push it in. Now that we've got this in, we've got the hard drive, let's put the power supply back in. Now, power supply looks pretty clean here. Let's just clean it off just here a little bit. Okay, we'll throw that away. Now, make sure our location of the power supply is correct. In this unit, you can take the power supply and put it in from the top. Voila. Now, this one takes 4 screws, so we're going to use 4 screws. We're going to secure the unit back in, like thusly. Again, if you've got more than 2 screws, do it cross pattern. Okay? We just want to tighten it. We don't want to snug it down yet. Okay? Again, we'll do it here. And then we'll put it here. Okay, now at this point we can snug it down like that. Like that. Okay, that now is snugged in. Okay, the next step we're looking at now is making sure that our components in here are in here correctly. Now, we are needing to put this in here. This is for modem lines, for phone lines. In most business applications, this would not be in. You would actually have a network card, or most of the time the motherboards are having network card slots in them already. It's snapped right in there. Again, we'll take the screw and we will put it in there like thusly. Sometimes be sure you have a couple of different screwdrivers because of the locations of them. There we go. Alright, now that's in there. Now we have the wires for this unit that we need to plug in. Now, we have one that goes back here. Okay, make sure it's in there snugly. Make sure it's not in the way of the fan. Now, power supply needs to be connected to this unit. Okay, now the next thing that we're looking at is the hard drive unit. Do not drop this unit. Be careful with this. Now this unit, it's fairly easy to put in. So what we're going to do, put it in like that. Now notice that this is designed to hold two hard drives in it. As we can see here, we can put 2 hard drives in it. Now at this point in time we can go on ahead and put the cables in it. Please notate the notch on here. And stick it in there like thusly. Same thing up here. Make sure that that is in there correctly. Now, do not forget to take this from your power supply and be sure and plug it in here. This gives power to your motherboard at different voltages. And we have power supply for the hard drive now. Okay, now it looks like everything's done, but it's not. We still have this unit here, which we need to put on here. This creates like a vortex, which helps with the air. Typically it pulls fresh air from outside through that unit. Some units don't. Some units you just have a processor with no fan. Most of them at least have a heat sink on there to help distribute the heat. Sounds like it's in, doesn't it? Okay, now I have not completely done yet because I know that I still have the cabinet to put on, and you'll notice too that I like to kind of keep my area cleaned up. Always a good habit to be in. Always keep your area clean as much as possible. Now, you notice I don't have the front on here. I need to put the side on. Here's the side cabinet on here. Now, does it look like it needs wiping down? Well, if one part's got dust in there, I'm sure that another part's gotten dust in it too. As we can see. Always clean everything. Now, putting the cabinet on, this is a challenge sometimes because some units are different completely. Unless you have one specific cabinet that you're dealing with to put on. Again, we don't want to fight the unit. We just want to take our time and put it on there like thusly. Well, almost there. Notice it's not in down here because this one requires you having to get it in here and then there. Now we're in. Okay, look, we've still got more dust out here. Clean the dust off. Right, now the front unit, the cover, as we can see here, this gives you all some of the properties to what's in here, whether it's applications or the type of components that are in here. A lot of machines don't. This particular machine does. Still, it's going to have dust because of buildup. There's a hidden door here, which we see the dust in there. We're going to clean that out. Okay, now I'm going to be a bit particular about this, so I'm going to go on ahead and get another dust rag out so we can go on ahead, just get the rest of the dust bunnies out. Always believe if you're going to do something, think of it as it's going to be your own machine. Every time you're doing this, you're servicing a customer. You want that customer to be happy. And yes, an employee is a customer. Anybody that deals with IT is dealing with a customer, no matter who it is. Now if we look at it that way, and always try to remember, 9 out of 10 times we should come away with a very happy customer, and even then, let's make that last one happy too if we can. Alright, now, last thing I did, now I put down on here, documented where these went, because sometimes, depending on the machines, have different specifications. So we want to make sure that we get it back right in the same position once we put it together. Okay, now with all that done, we can put all of this back in this clip here. Look at that. Now, yes, I'm going to go in here and just make sure that that everything's out. It's cleaned up. The last thing we're going to put on. Oh, that is not correct. Yes, it is. The last thing we're going to put on is the door. Okay. Again, let's wipe it down. Let's make sure that it's clean too. I'm also the philosophy, measure twice, cut once. So always double check your work. Always, before you do anything that finalizes it. You'll save yourself time, cost, and money. And on top of that, a lot of aggravation. Because if that machine's not up and running, you know the person behind you that's waiting on that machine, they're going to start chomping at the bits. And we don't like that. We want that person to be happy. We want them to think of us as, when the time comes, they can't wait to call their IT guy or gal and know that that person is going to come jumping on the spot and help them out. So we live in a world of computers now. And computers, because they are a way of our life, we need to make sure that we keep them up and running with as much of the advanced equipment as possible. Because a happy customer is a lifelong customer. There we go. We have one machine that has now been fully reassembled. It's clean, in proper order, and it's ready to be tested, and put online. And go to the next machine. Thank you for your time. This again has been an instructional video on the disassembly, the cleaning, the description of the components, installing appropriately, and sealing up the cabinet back for work. Thank you.